Within just over 2 minutes, the Transformers Bumblebee opening sequence showcasing Cybertron gave us what the Transformers should be like than what the Michael Bay movies showed us within 5 movies. Now this isn't a dish on the Michael Bay movies per se, like it's not going to be a hit piece on that. I'm just going to explain on how the opening sequences managed to get a lot of things right with Transformers than what those movies did. How that managed to capture the magic, and that not exactly. Now I'm not going to deny the first time we see the Transformers in the original movie by Michael Bay was a very magical moment, and it did set the stage for what the future could be like. But after that, the magic for me kind of was lost a little bit. I mean, there was a few moments where I was like, oh yeah, this could be it. And it's like, but this is still overshadowing it. And it's like, but this manages to capture it perfectly. We've got robots we recognize. We've got Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Ratchet, Brawn, RC, Wheeljack, Ironhide, Cliffjumper, just showcase characters that resemble their Generation 1 counterpart, with badass Decepticons such as Soundwave, Shockwave and Starscream. No alien-like features to Cybertron, a pure robotic planet with history just by looking at it. Now yes, this sequence was very short and brief, if we do take in consideration as well as the short scene where we go back to Optimus Prime, how he was actually captured by the Decepticons for a brief period. But that in itself, that 1 minute action sequence of Optimus Prime taking on the Decepticons with Soundwave ejecting Ravage, that still shows a lot more. For example, we have Soundwave saying, "Ravage, eject." Now I'm not saying that every Transformers movie needs to be Generation 1 or any other series for that matter. What it needs to have is resemblance, iconic features that made us love these characters from begin with. And while this movie just went all on out and making sure they got that accuracy to Generation 1 while changing up a little bit to obviously fit the setting of the movie, what I think it gets right most particular is its action. It's not all over the place, it's not throwing it in your face, there's no massive explosions, it's simple. Autobots and Decepticons fighting, but in a choreographed way. We have Optimus Prime diving, like he did in the original Generation 1 movie. You know, just another iconic moment and a good tribute there. So it's obviously going to pay a lot of resemblance to the 80s cartoon. And it does this right off the bat with showing you Optimus Prime full frontal, you know, bashing Decepticons left and right, and you can actually see where he throws them. And all the camera shots are very precise, giving you exact details of the character's face and features, making sure you see them all on screen. Now I'm not going to say that all of Michael Bay's action sequences with the Transformers are bad, actually quite the opposite. Some of them are really fantastic, like the Revenge of the Fallen Forest fight scene. That still to this day remains one of my favourite choreographed fighting sequences out of movie history. Yes, I know that's probably a stretch to say, but it really is. Like, I know the sequences, I know the electronic sounds from the robots, you know, the sound engineering as well, you know, both from Bumblebee and, you know, the previous movies. It's always been phenomenal, just been absolutely exceptional. But I think a lot of problem that fans had with the Michael Bay movies was that some of them just couldn't quite keep up with the action, with the cameras moving fast, you know, extremely fast, and with the explosions kind of covering the camera and the robots themselves. Like, okay, now where's who's who? Of course, the Transformers designs in the Michael Bay movies are really cool to some extent. Some of them are really creative and elaborative, and Joss Nizzi really came up with fantastic concepts. But I think what people really missed was sort of the simplicity of some designs, not all over the place. And the Decepticons did have a sharpness to them in the movies, but with this, we can see who Soundwave is, we can see who Starscream is, and we can see who Shockwave is. You know, unlike the Michael Bay movies, where they'd just be kind of grey and dark most of the time, and kind of like a bit off-putting. It's like, oh, I need some colour in my bad guys, you know? And same with the Autobots as well, rather than just resorting into one colour most of the time. Like I said, there's a lot of variety. Some fans really love G1, some fans really don't, some prefer the movies and some just don't like the movies, and I guess we'll never agree completely on what makes a Transformers movie right, but I think the Bumblebee movie has started to steer the ship in a right direction of giving us a blend of both action and heart. I think people saying that there's not enough explosions, I'm like, yeah, there's quite a few explosions. Not maybe as much as a Michael Bay movie, but still, I think Travis Knight, you know, kind of being an apprentice of explosions for Michael Bay, I think he did a really good job on giving us some good action in that movie. and we actually have character development as well, you know, with Optimus Prime getting the Autobots back, getting them to evacuate, and then allowing Bumblebee to escape while he stays behind and attacks them. You know, that's Optimus Prime, that's him sticking behind, that's him being there for his friends, you know. He would rather stay behind than risk the potential of Bumblebee getting shot down. Same for the other Autobots as well, making sure all of his friends escape. I mean, the line where Optimus Prime says,
"Good luck, soldier. I'll buy you some time,"
gives you a lot of insight into his character, and we're just like half a minute in. But it shows how brave Optimus Prime is for someone who's never watched any Transformers movies before. Kind of weird if they didn't, but let's just say if they haven't watched the film before, this is the first time they're seeing this character of Optimus Prime, it's clear that this is the leader. This is, you know, especially on his design alone, you can tell that he's a very powerful character and he's the one who everyone looks up to. It's unfortunate that this isn't longer, of course, but with this 2 minutes alone, it does feel like it's a story. It's getting from A to Z. You know, the Autobots getting to escape. It's like the last minute of the entire fighting sequence. It's like, oh, okay, I wish we could see the previous hour of this leading up to this. You know, that would have been epic. And, you know, with that Cybertron animated movie in the works, hopefully that gives us that within the same animation and such. But it does tell you a story and really makes you go, oh, God, I could really have an hour of this. Just an hour of Cybertron. I mean, when you've got direct homages with Brawn being shot in the back. Optimus Prime in the air. Soundwave saying his iconic phrases.
"Decepticons, attack!"
It's the ultimate fan service for a Transformers fan. And I think people who aren't even into the world of Transformers as much will still be taken away by this stunning animation, the stunning sound. The visuals are just amazing. And while we wait for the day that Optimus Prime and Megatron will finally dish it out, Megatron looking just like his Generation 1 counterpart, but obviously altered up a little bit, so he obviously doesn't turn into a gun, because, well, that would be kind of an embarrassing fight for something especially live action. I mean, we know why Megatron wasn't a gun from the beginning, but really, an alien jet, that does not look like Megatron. I think everyone can sort of agree, even if they say it's a new incarnation stake. Like I said, you need reference for these characters. You need something to take us back and go, oh yes, I remember that character. Even the previous Megatrons have had some similarities to the original incarnation, some being still different, but still nonetheless, this complete redo of Megatron was kind of like a bit, ooh, I mean, we had to change her head for Megatron a little bit just to kind of fit it a little bit more, and even that was, you know, not exactly like Megatron. But like I said, this isn't a complaint on the total series of Michael Bay. You know, they have certainly given us a lot of good stuff, but again, this Bumblebee movie, this opening sequences, it just kind of shows the divide between, yeah, this is what the majority wants, and unfortunately, previously, that's kind of gone now. The Michael Bay genre, the Michael Bay style, it's kind of outstayed its welcome a little bit, and it does carry over a bit into this movie. There's still Michael Bay elements, like with Bumblebee, like his design, and mostly in his head though, he has been more rounder, he's a bit more softer looking, you know, like he originally did in Generation 1. But Travis Knight really wanted fans to remember the Transformers like they were in the 80s. He really wanted to bring that visual style at least to life. And I think not just for the fans, but I think he really did it for himself as well, because unlike Michael Bay, Travis Knight is actually a fan of Transformers. He grew up with it, you know, he grew up with it as a kid, you know, he brought the figures, you know, and you can tell when he talks in interviews, he actually knows what he's talking about, you know, and that's not a complete dish on Michael Bay, but Michael Bay had to be put through Transformers school, and I don't know, I want to know the grade of what that guy got out of Transformers school. But still, regardless, the opening sequences definitely give us the breadcrumbs of what is hopeful to come in the Transformers future. I just really want Lorenzo Di Bonaventura to take some notes from this movie and go, yes, this is what worked, and there's a reason for that. To say that this is a box office flop is really not accurate. This has made money back. It's made more money back than Transformers The Last Knight. That lost 100 million. This has gone. This has gained a lot, and this was on a small budget. That's why they've made a lot of money back. And with just that small amount of money, they've made a memorable Transformers movie for all of us fans. Anyway guys, this has been Common and Cam. Share me your thoughts in the comment section below. What was your reaction like when you first watched the Transformers Bumblebee opening sequence? If you are new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell to get all updates instantly. Till next time, this has been Common and Cam, and goodbye.